Hare Krishna, Chitra Mohini Mataji, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you for your wonderful association. We will start today's session with Mangalacharanam prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Once again, my sincere gratitude to all of you for joining in today's session. Today we are going to start this chapter on dancing white elephants. Actually, last week we had this session, but unfortunately we could not record it. So today I wish to briefly touch upon on the same subject and then continue quickly so that whatever was spoken, at least in a brief nutshell, today's audience will be able to hear that. That is the purpose. And before we continue, I would like to share with all of you the tragic bereavement of Chitra Mohini Mataji. She lost her son very recently. And we have been praying for his welfare. We all know that as souls, we have been simply traveling in various bodies. We are not dying. We neither take birth nor death, just as we say about Krishna. Janma karma chame divyam, evam yo veti tattvata. Krishna's birth and death are what you call his activities and departure. They are all transcendental. And we are all part and parcel of Krishna. So we are also transcendental. There is no doubt about it. But because of being trapped in Maya, because of our desire to enjoy independently from Krishna, we have to undergo this miserable existence called material existence of taking birth, so-called birth and so-called death in various bodies. But actually, dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara, tata deha antara prapti dhiras tatra namuhyati. Krishna says, even in this one lifetime, we have been changing so many bodies. We don't call it as death. My baby body is dead. My boy body is dead. My young man body is dead. My middle-aged man body is also dead. I am now in an old man body. So in that sense, we have died so many times. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, class will clear. Right. So we have died so many times, but we don't cry for that. But when a person, what Krishna says, at the end of life, same thing happens. We leave this body and take on another body. But still, we feel a lot of lamentation at this stage because we can no longer associate with that person. Because that person has left this body and gone to some other body which we do not know about. The soul has gone. So in that sense, there is a bereavement. But we know that no one has died. The soul has simply finished its business in one body and it is migrating to another body for further, enjoyment of its own past karmas and to engage in fresh karmas. So that's why Srivas Thakur, he was in Srivas Angan, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was having his ecstatic nighttime kirtans. And suddenly Srivas Thakur's son died. And all the ladies were crying. And immediately Srivas Thakur rushed to them and said, stop crying. At least stop crying loudly. Your loud crying will disturb Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is having his ecstatic dance and kirtan. If he is disturbed, then I will commit suicide. Srivas Thakur said that, I will commit suicide. So the ladies, despite their great bereavement, they covered their faces and very silently they were crying. Mahaprabhu was not knowing anything. And after some time, Mahaprabhu asked, there is something wrong. Something bad must have happened. Why nobody is telling me what happened? Then the devotees disclosed that actually Srivas Thakur's son has died. And he said, then why you did not tell me earlier? Then Mahaprabhu went to the side of the dead body where everyone was crying. And Mahaprabhu looked at this person and said, at the dead body, and said, get up. Then this boy got up. And he was looking all around. And Mahaprabhu said, speak. Then this boy spoke. Oh Lord, by your arrangement, I have come into this body, but now I have finished my business here. I am going into a higher, superior body. It's all by your arrangement. One has so many fathers and so many mothers in so many lifetimes. So this goes on, and I have left this body. I am going for a higher destination. And like that, he speaks to Mahaprabhu. And all the assembled people immediately give up their misery. They realize that it is actually a soul who was in this body. So there is no question of birth or death in the body. No, the soul appears and disappears. When the business is finished in a particular body, the soul leaves. So that's what happens. But in the case of a devotee, it is something very special because whatever happens in a devotee's life is orchestrated by the Supreme Lord. And even when our Vaishnava associate, if someone dies, we cry. And Prabhupada explains that when a devotee dies, we both laugh and cry. It is simultaneously a celebration and a lamentation. Why? Because we know that when a Vaishnava dies, he or she is going for a higher destination by the arrangement of the Lord. They are going for either the supreme destination or they are on the way to the supreme destination under the able guidance of the Supreme Lord. So we don't lament for that. We are happy that this Vaishnava friend of mine is going for something higher. So there is always happiness. And when they are pure devotees, we know they have gone to join the Nitya Leela of the Supreme Lord. We are very, very happy. Same time, there is a lamentation, and that is because in this particular body, we shall no longer have the association of that personality. That is the simultaneous lamentation and exaltation that happens when a Vaishnava leaves the body. But actually, it's all ecstatic. Even if someone cries at the bereavement, that's also an ecstatic experience for devotees. So let us all chant the Mahamantra 3 times for Chitra Mohini Mataji's son, that soul, to have a better destination under the able hands of Lord Sri Krishna. Please unmute yourself and let us all chant 3 times. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
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 Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
Thank you very much, Mataji, for your counseling.
Yes, Mataji, I know what a great pain it is. But at the same time, because we have come into Krishna consciousness, we are able to overcome that pain also. So that way, Krishna has brought you into this at the right time so that you know the story behind what is happening. We mostly react very superficially to the life's experiences, but as devotees, we are able to go deeply. So thank you, Mataji, for your association. Please continue to come and continue to encourage us.
Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
counseling. Thank you.
And there is good news from Sunita Arvind Mataji. She's no longer Sunita Arvind. Mataji, please unmute yourself and share with us your experience and your new names.
Hare Krishna, everybody. I'm so happy and I feel so blessed to say that I got initiated on 19th of August, this 3 days back. And along with me, my Prabhu also got initiated.
Hari Bol
And
Mataji.
it's my
Hari
spiritual
Bol.
master, that is His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. And my spiritual new name is Sunila Sri Radha Devi Dasi Mataji. Hare
Oh, Hare
Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Hare
I seek
Bol,
all
Hare
your
Bol.
blessings, and please to encourage me, and please keep me in your prayers so that I can advance further and further in my Krishna conscious. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
And
It's all because
Mataji's
of you,
husband
Prabhuji. I'm
also got
in
initiated.
Krishna
He got
consciousness.
Yes,
initiated.
Hari Bol.
Thank you so much.
Hari Bol.
Bol,
Hari
Hari
Bol
Bol.
Mataji. Please
And what
pray
is
for us,
Prabhuji's
Mataji.
name? Aravinda
Prabhuji's name is Aravinda Sri Krishna Dasa.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Aravinda.
Mataji. Hari Bol. Just pray for us also, Mataji, please.
Yes,
Thank
Mataji.
you,
Please
Mataji.
pray
Yes,
for us.
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. We
Please.
all started our journey together. We all started our journey together. I
Yeah.
always pray for Mataji, and this group is awesome because since 4 years we are all associated together, and I can't forget this group only because this is my first. We say no, many teachers may come, but Kalanidhi Prabhu is someone I cannot forget. Kalanidhi Prabhu in my life. I'm so indebted to Kalanidhi Prabhuji. Thank you so much. He is the one who taught me, beginning alphabets, like A, B, C, D of Krishna consciousness. So I always remember my spiritual master, that is my Shiksha Guru, that is Kalanidhi Prabhuji. Wherever I go, I always make it a point to pray for my Guru, Shiksha Guru, Kalanidhi Prabhuji.
Jai
Hari
Shri.
Bol.
Hari Bol Mataji.
Hari Bol, Mataji, Hari Bol.
So this is amazing step forward. And Mataji,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
may I ask you one question? Which is the most important part of your new name?
Sri Radha, that Devi Dasi, that is Dasi. That is that's what really connects me to Krishna Prabhuji. Dasi. that word dasi, because until now we never feel that, though we may say that I am the servant of Krishna, I am the servant of Krishna, that really it never touches a heart, Prabhuji. But the moment that new name comes, it really goosebumps moment, Prabhuji, and my dream come true. It's like, when I got that beats and I looked at Guru Maharaj's photo, though he was not present in person, I couldn't control my tears, because I always wanted to take the beats from him. But unfortunately, I couldn't, because of owing to his bad health. Guru Maharaj couldn't come, but still he connected with all of us through Zoom session, and he blessed all of us, and he saw our faces. And but still, I couldn't control my tears, because the moment he said your spiritual name is, and I couldn't, I couldn't tolerate, because that Devi Dasi, that the Dasi word, it really touches my heart, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, Hare Krishna. So we are all Dasa and Dasi. That's what, in essence, we are all are. Jivera Surubhai Krishna Nityadas. So we are reminded of that position. So whatever exotic names our Guru Maharaj will give us, but what is most important is for us to remember that I am ultimately the servant of the Supreme Lord and the Supreme Queen of Vrindavan, Radharani. So that is the mood that we always have to carry. So thank you. It's wonderful. I wish to hear more and more devotees getting initiated and moving on in their spiritual life. And even for those who have not got initiated, keep the aspiration alive in your heart. Ultimately, Krishna is Bhavagrahi. We should not take this term very lightly. Sometimes we take it lightly, thinking, oh, Bhavagrahi, so he knows that I have a desire in my heart, and Krishna will fulfill it at the right time. Anyway, I have it. We should not be so feeble like that. We should make a sincere effort to show to Krishna that I do have a desire to love you, to serve you, to come back to you. That I have a strong, burning desire in my heart. And we should demonstrate that to the Lord by very feelingly chanting the holy names and rendering whatever services we can do to the Lord. Now, Balaram Jayanti is over and Janmashtami is approaching, and quickly after that we will have Radhashtami. So very, very holy part of the year is coming upon us, and let us all redouble our determination that I want to serve the Lord. And Prabhupada said, desire to go back home in this one lifetime. Don't plan to have few more lifetimes. I will go at leisure. Now I have come to Krishna consciousness. I will be protected by the devotees and by Srila Prabhupada. Even if I take many lifetimes, they will follow me like that. We should not plan like that. This is a miserable place. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, this is a public toilet. So how long would anyone like to spend in a public toilet? We should try to finish our business and leave as quickly as possible, back home, back to God. So that is a determination that all of us should try to develop in our hearts. And the purpose of devotee association is basically that. We come in devotee association to get inspired by each other, to develop the strong desire in our heart to go back home to Krishna. We have seen this world so hopeless, right? So hopeless. As we grow older and older, the more and more hopeless it becomes. And we realize how we have attached so much importance to meaningless things, completely meaningless things. So we should constantly remain in association with devotees. We should be constantly discussing Krishna Katha in the association of devotees, so that this desire will become very strong and reinforced in our heart, that nothing can shake that. So Bhavagrahi Janardhan means Krishna is seeing our bhava. But our bhava also, if it is weak, then it is a tragedy. After coming into Krishna consciousness, after knowing about such amazing devotees of the Lord like Srila Prabhupada or like His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, if we still find it difficult to develop that fervor in our heart to approach God, then we are really unfortunate. So the purpose of devotee association is basically that, to awaken appreciation, absorption for the Lord, so that we will, as quickly as possible, we will go back to Him. So let us take up today's session. So just to recap last week's session, so Prabhupada came from Japan and he went to Calcutta. Calcutta is his hometown, we know, but he is returning to Calcutta after 3 long years of being away in USA. And he was received by Achyutananda and Jayapataka. At that time, he was a young boy of 18 or 19 years old. And Srila Prabhupada offered, Achyutananda said, I want to become a sannyasi. And Prabhupada said, yes. And he told Jayapataka, that small boy, you also take sannyas. And you will be sannyas initiated on the coming Radhashtami. So we are very close to the time when Jayapataka Swami took his sannyas, Diksha from Srila Prabhupada, as a very, very young boy. So very soon, this is happening soon after Janmashtami, we know. In Janmashtami, Prabhupada was in Japan. And now for Radhashtami, for Janmashtami over, now for Radhashtami, Prabhupada is going to initiate these two amazing devotees. So between Janmashtami and Radhashtami, it is a gap of only 15 days. Right? One is waning moon, next is waxing moon. Exactly gap of 15 days. So that is going to happen. And Srila Prabhupada, after getting down from the flight, he goes to the VIP lounge, and Achyutananda and Jayapataka have made nice arrangements to receive him in a very nicely flower-decorated car. They go to the VIP lounge, and there is a very loud kirtan. Many God brothers and long-time friends of Prabhupada have assembled. Chaitanya Amma devotees have come and doing a very loud kirtan party, and there is a big crowd to receive him. You will remember when Prabhupada left India from Calcutta again, from the harbor, from the port, there was nobody to see him off. But now he's coming back, and there is a huge party. People have already known about his great success of preaching in the West and how many pure devotees he has already made in America. So reporters are talking, they are asking many questions. Prabhupada is replying to them. Whether it is communism or capitalism, Krishna must be in the center. My advice is that you all chant the holy name. So Prabhupada is, because he is in Calcutta, he is not in America. He is in India and he is in Calcutta, the place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada is speaking directly, openly he is speaking. So he is telling, no beating around the bush. Prabhupada is telling, chant, take the holy name of the Lord, chant. And that is the only solution. Whether it is communism or capitalism, as long as there is chanting of the holy name is concerned, everything becomes perfect. Otherwise, everything becomes useless. So Prabhupada is very sharply preaching like that. The chanting is the most important thing. And the reporters are asking many questions. There are Naxalites now. There are murders happening in Calcutta. The students are becoming unruly. The government is unable to control them. And businessmen are migrating out of Calcutta to Delhi and Bombay because they are being murdered. They are being targeted. And there is so much of suffering. People are having unemployment problems. And so much of Calcutta is in poverty. Prabhupada said, I am not going to give you a new solution. There is only one solution, chanting of the Holy Name. For all your problems, chant the Holy Name, and the problems will disappear. So from the airport, they go to the residence of one devotee in Calcutta by name Mr. Dasgupta. And there, they are received by a huge crowd again. So many garlands are put on Prabhupada's neck. The garlands are covering his face. So all the garlands are removed. Again, more garlands are coming. And everyone wants to touch the lotus feet of Prabhupada. And his disciples from America are amazed how much respect they are giving to our Srila Prabhupada. We never gave so much respect to Srila Prabhupada. We took him for granted. We thought he is a poor man and he's there in America to help us. We thought only that much. But here we understand in his own land, in the Vedic land of India, how much respect Srila Prabhupada is receiving. And they were all very happy to see this. And Bhavatarani Mataji, she is Prabhupada's sister. She came with a huge feast, and this was 12 o'clock in the night. So all the sannyas devotees of Prabhupada said, no, we cannot eat now, it is too late. But Prabhupada said, no, my sister has cooked all this, all of you should eat. So at 12 o'clock, everybody sat down to eat. Prabhupada said, for Bhavatarani, this is her meditation. This is her seva to Krishna. What is that? To cook and to serve Vaishnavas. So we should please her by eating whatever she has brought. Apart from that, the Chaitanya Amma devotees also brought a lot of prasadam. So that was also served. and devotees ate to their full. And then they retired to the room, and at 1 o'clock in the night, there was a meeting. In this meeting, Srila Prabhupada once again spoke about that penetration of Mayavad into ISKCON, why it happened, why the importance of the spiritual master was diminished, was minimized due to the interaction of the devotees in India with the God brothers of Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada corrected all the wrong notions, and Prabhupada said, the position of spiritual master is unique. No one can take that. And we should respect the spiritual master as God. He is not God. He is a representative of God, but he deserves the same respect that we give to God. So the air was cleared. Everybody understood the message. Everyone was happy. So there was a nice coverage on the following day in Amrit Bazar Patrika, the most famous newspaper of Calcutta. And they said, these people are very good. They are so pure souls. And we have never seen such a rousing reception in our Damdam airport for anyone in the past. They are giving such glorification to Srila Prabhupada. With so much emotion and celebration, he was received by a huge crowd. That kind of reception was never accorded to any VIP in Calcutta. Like that, Amrit Bazar Patrika wrote. So this is the situation in which Prabhupada has come to Calcutta. There is so much of disturbance going on, but still Srila Prabhupada has come with a specific mission, and that is to save the world. It is not that particular solutions are required for these problems, right? Prabhupada has come to give a solution to all problems of mankind in one shot. So now Prabhupada is very focusedly, he's speaking from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, telling everybody that Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela of Krishna, that is the solution for all the problems of the age of Kali. You chant the name of Krishna, you speak the glorious qualities, pastimes of Krishna, his beautiful form, and that is a solution. And then Prabhupada is sending his American devotees out in the streets for Nam Sankirtan daily, morning to evening, in the hot streets. This is the month of October, but the monsoon had not started that year, and it was very hot. But devotees simply obeying instructions of Prabhupada, ecstatically, they were doing Nagar Sankirtan on the streets of Bengal, and there were huge crowds gathering. Bengalis were wondering how these Westerners are accepting. We thought they are our masters and we are their slaves. We are imitating them. We are trying to imitate their culture. We think anyone who speaks English is only an educated person. All their culture, all their habits, we are giving them great respect. But here they are accepting our culture. They are wearing dhoti, they are wearing kurta, they are wearing sari, they have kantimala, they have tilak, they have shika. They are speaking Bhagavad Gita, they are speaking shlokas from Bhagavatam. They are asserting that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. These are all things that belong to our land. But how come these Westerners have accepted? So a lot of crowds are coming, and Prabhupada was expecting the very same outcome. So Prabhupada was happy, and he named his devotees who had come here dancing white elephants, because they are going out in Sankirtan in the street, they are singing, they are dancing, and they are completely white, very nicely dressed as Vaishnavas. So Prabhupada affectionately named them dancing white elephants. And for hours and hours, they were doing Kirtan every day. But when they come back, Prabhupada will waiting to receive them with a big smile on his face. And they forgot all the sufferings of the day when they saw Srila Prabhupada being happy. So devotee's happiness is to simply see the Guru being happy with him. That is the happiness of a devotee. So Prabhupada explained what had happened to India in the last 1,000 years, how India was a wonderful land of Vedic culture, but how the Mughals and subsequently British came and ruined everything and destroyed the consciousness of the people to respect the Western culture more than our own Vedic culture. As a result of that, the Vedas are lost, Brahminical culture is lost, Varnashrama is forgotten. There is so much of infighting in the name of communalism and casteism. All this has been created by the Westerners. Prabhupada spoke these details to his devotees. So Prabhupada now is thinking, this Kirtan in the street must stop now. Prabhupada started it, but in 10 days, Prabhupada stopped it also. Why? Prabhupada is thinking, They should not take my devotees cheaply. Like beggars, they are coming in the street and simply dancing and begging. So Prabhupada said, no, this we will stop. And Prabhupada said, now you must approach the elite of Calcutta, the educated, the wealthy segment of Calcutta. You must approach them and you must preach to them, and they should know how erudite, how scholarly you people are in the Vedic literature, in Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada said, for that I have a new plan. So Prabhupada always has many plans in his head. Satsur Maharaj says, Prabhupada has many plans always, but he will reveal them at the appropriate time only. So for 10 days he did Nagar Sankirtan. They thought this will continue, but suddenly Prabhupada stopped. And he said, now go for life membership. So life membership means you will approach the wealthy people of Calcutta and ask them to become life members. And Prabhupada said, if someone becomes a life member by paying 1,111 rupees, they will get free accommodation in any temple of ISKCON around the world. And they will get my books free. And they will get free prasadam when they visit the temple. Like that, Prabhupada made a plan. So they went out on life membership. So Prabhupada launched the scheme in a house program in Calcutta, and immediately it became successful. Many businessmen, many wealthy people, they became life members instantly. And so Prabhupada's disciples started going out every day to the wealthy segments of Calcutta and preaching to them and inviting life membership. So Prabhupada has created a nice plan. Instead of simply dancing on the street and attracting huge crowds, now they are going to the people who really matter and make them Krishna conscious. So tomorrow, through them, the whole city can become Krishna conscious. Correct? So this was Prabhupada's plan. So Satsur Maharaj writes, after going to Calcutta, Prabhupada never rested. Prabhupada is speaking from morning to evening. Either he is sitting in his desk and preaching, or he is going for house programs and preaching. Anyone who comes, Prabhupada is talking. Sometimes there is a room full of wealthy couples sitting and listening to him. Or sometimes there is only a lone man, an unknown man only sitting there, and Prabhupada is speaking to him. The disciples are sitting in the same room and listening. Sometimes disciples have got work, they go out and they come back after some time, but Prabhupada is still sitting there and preaching, speaking Bhagavatam, speaking Bhagavad Gita. And the devotees saw how much love and commitment Prabhupada has got to the movement. And they decided we should also develop these qualities, like Srila Prabhupada. And at one time, the devotees were criticizing others to Prabhupada. They said, Prabhupada, this man came to you and spoke as though he's a great devotee, but we saw him outside. He's drinking tea and he's smoking. He's not a serious person. So Prabhupada gave the example of a housefly and a honeybee. Prabhupada said, a housefly, even if a person is completely healthy from head to foot, if there is a small scratch or a pus in the body, it will go exactly and land there only. So if we see people, we only focus on their bad qualities. We are like housefly. It's not a good quality to focus on the bad qualities of others. But you should be like a honeybee. In a great garbage heap, if there is one plant growing, and in that one plant there is one flower, and there is a little drop of honey, the honeybee will go right there and land on it. It will not even notice the garbage heap. If you ask the honeybee, did you see the garbage heap? It will say, no, I didn't see. I was only focused on the drop of honey. Prabhupada told them, you should become like that. You should never find the fault of others. So Prabhupada taught them like that. So the devotees, the disciples, decided he will simply imitate Prabhupada. Just like a mother duck is walking and the little baby ducklings are following the mother. Like that, they attached themselves to Srila Prabhupada and they learned everything from whatever he did. How did he deal with people? And they learned from him, right? And they loved Srila Prabhupada for his amazing qualities. They realized that they have seen so many Indian sadhus now on this trip, but they realized, no, Prabhupada is very unique. Even the sadhus of Calcutta are no match for Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada had a dream to start a temple in Mayapur. He wanted to buy land, but unfortunately, repeated attempts were failure. He wanted help from God brothers, but they were not helping. But Prabhupada even suspected that they are actually putting obstacles for ISKCON to buy land there. They did not want ISKCON to come to Mayapur. So Prabhupada said, perhaps Lord Chaitanya does not want me to establish headquarters in Mayapur. In the meantime, house programs were continuing, and then there was an invitation from Bombay to attend a massive sadhu sangha on Chowpatty beach. It was going to be a very big affair, and the invitation came through Mr. Dandarian. And so Srila Prabhupada left Calcutta and he went to Bombay. So Bombay, Prabhupada is there, October 1970. And there are 20 Western devotees more. Already there are 10 people with Prabhupada. 20 more arrived from America in a cheap flight, low-cost flight. And they have arrived. And so now there is a huge crowd of 30 devotees with Srila Prabhupada, eager to serve him. And they are all staying in Mr. Kailash Saxeria. He's a friend of Dandariya. He's a relative also. He said, my house is your house. One whole floor in Marine Drive was given to Prabhupada and his disciples. And he shifted his own family to another floor. See the mood of these Vaishnavas. On the outside, they are businessmen, but they have great love for Krishna and Acharyas. So they gave that arrangement to Srila Prabhupada and they served them nicely. All the devotees and Srila Prabhupada every day, morning, evening, they would feed them. They provided staying accommodation. They provided transport. So Prabhupada was very happy and said, Bombay is a good city for Krishna consciousness. And there was the Sadhu Sangha on Marine Drive. Many sadhus are sitting on stage, and Prabhupada also went there. Most of them were speaking Mayavad, and the crowd was restless. They only wanted to hear Srila Prabhupada. Then finally Prabhupada spoke. There were 500 wealthy people sitting there in the audience and listening. And apart from that lecture of Srila Prabhupada, there was Nagar Sankirtan daily in Bombay in different places. So media was covering it very nicely. So Prabhupada created a storm in Bombay in his first visit. There was so much wide press coverage and everybody was appreciative. So one of the newspapers wrote, the Vaishnavas of Mathura could not be so guileless, meaning so innocent, so pure as this band of bhakti enthusiasts. Seeing the American devotees of Prabhupada, they realize they are much more pure. They have only one desire in their heart, to please Guru and Krishna. They have no other desire. So the media persons noticed that. So the radio stations and the press coverage was very good for Srila Prabhupada's movement. And Prabhupada was also sending his devotees all over the city for many stage programs also and Nagar Sankirtans also. So everybody was noticing and ISKCON was becoming really famous. So again, Mayavadi spoke and finally Prabhupada spoke. When Prabhupada spoke and then before Prabhupada spoke, there was a kirtan and the whole audience started jumping with joy and dancing along with Prabhupada's disciples. So Prabhupada was speaking to the audience, we need Sadachar. And many other speakers who spoke ahead of me, they also spoke about Sadachar. How to bring good behavior among the common man. And Prabhupada says, in this age of Kali, everyone is Jagai and Madhai. But Krishna consciousness, my mission is saving them wholesale. So how to bring Sadachar among the people? Prabhupada said, there is only one way. Make them chant Hare Krishna. If you want peace in the world, if you want Sadachar, we must spread Harinam throughout the world. Very simple, right? Prabhupada is a great philosopher. He's very deeply educated in Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, the whole gamut of Indian philosophy. But Prabhupada is focusing on Harinama. Let us all realize this. Let us not take the holy name lightly or cheaply. It is the only solution. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela of Krishna, they are all on the absolute platform. Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, they are identical with Krishna. Reading Bhagavatam or chanting the holy name, They are all on the same platform. So Prabhupada is telling, see these Americans I have brought. Sadachar has come naturally to them from chanting holy name. And Prabhupada says, they don't even drink tea. In Bombay, every corner people are drinking tea all the time. Tea, coffee, smoking. Very common sight in Bombay. But Prabhupada says, these people from America, they don't do any of these things. Even in India, it is so rare. So by taking to Krishna consciousness, these transformations have come in my devotees. So my previous speakers, they're all Mayavadis. And they also want Sadachar. When people are well behaved, there will be peace in this world. That's what they were announcing. And here I am proving to you. They all said, we want Sadachar, but they don't know how to bring Sadachar. Everybody wants Sadachar. Everybody glorifies Sadachar. But here I am demonstrating in front of you what is Sadachar. These American meat eaters, heavy drinkers, womanizers, gamblers, they have no virtue in them. But how I have transformed them. Now Sadachar is coming to them naturally. And Prabhupada spoke only 5 minutes. Previous speakers spoke hours. Prabhupada spoke 5 minutes. And Prabhupada said, there is a need for me to speak more. There is no need. You are seeing the results in front of you. Why should I speak? What has happened is not artificial. These people have become devotee. You can see that. And this Krishna consciousness is in everyone. I have not done any miracle. They have to simply revive the dormant Krishna consciousness in the hearts of people. That is all that we have to say. The whole audience responded loudly. They did Kirtan along with Srila Prabhupada. And end of the day, only with a 5-minute speech, Prabhupada had made a much greater impact on the whole audience than all the other Mayavadi speakers who spoke before him. So, next 1 week, Srila Prabhupada is glorified all over Bombay, in the press, in the radio, in the media, in public, everywhere. And constantly invitations are coming for Prabhupada to speak, and Prabhupada accepts all invitations. And constantly visiting the homes of people. Prabhupada would have at least 6 house visits every day. Now, see, from a practical perspective, try to understand this. In Bombay, Prabhupada is getting invited to at least 6 houses every day. That means one house goes, finish the program, go to another house, another house, another house. In each of these houses, they want to feed Prabhupada a heavy meal. Heavy meal. Prabhupada and all the disciples, they want to feed heavy meal. And if they don't eat, they'll be disturbed. But how much people can eat? So the devotees are thinking, how we can manage? But they are surprised. Prabhupada is satisfying all the hosts by just touching a little here, touching there, and all that. And they are all happy. Prabhupada has tasted our nice feast and Prabhupada is pleased with us. So these devotees were learning from Prabhupada how amazingly he's handling. So they also decided, whatever Prabhupada eats, we will eat. And whenever Prabhupada stops, we will stop. When Prabhupada gets up to wash, we will also get up to wash. So like that, they were learning everything from Srila Prabhupada. So one of the reporters, he was speaking among other reporters. He was usually a very unsentimental reporter, not a very religious type of person, very neutral kind of person. But suddenly, with tears in his eyes, he was telling, oh, this Hare Krishna movement will compensate for all the loss that our country has suffered in the hands of Christian missionaries who came from the Western world. This movement is compensating for all that. See what an amazing success he has had in America. In the land of sense gratification, in the capital of sense gratification, he has planted Krishna consciousness. So what is not possible? Like that, he glorified. And so there was another press conference in Saksariya's house, and 25 newsmen were there. And one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada was Giriraj. He later on became a Maharaj, Giriraj. And they spoke to him and they were shocked. Giriraj was the son of a multi-millionaire, a Supreme Court judge in New York, in the USA. And he left his home. He left all the wealth and he has joined Prabhupada. So they were shocked. How can an American boy give up all the wealth and all the enjoyment and become a simple brahmachari and follow the 75-year-old man? So the next day in the newspaper headlines, US millionaire's son seeks solace in Krishna society. Like that. Because in Bombay, money is everything. People rush to Bombay. Why? Because there's so much money. And here, a multi-millionaire son has left all the money and he joined Krishna movement. So that impresses people so much. But there was also some negative coverage. In some of the letters to the editors, they were writing that these are not first-class devotees. These are not first-class brahmanas, even though they may be wearing sacred thread and all. They have been meat eaters. They are born in Mlecha, Yavana families. We cannot respect them as a born brahmana. Like that, some articles appeared. This is 1970, right? And Prabhupada said, very good. They are noticing us. Even if they are criticizing, they are giving service. Now you reply to this criticism and let it also be published. So the devotees were writing replies based on Shastras, and these were also getting published. So that way, Krishna's name, which is absolute, it is being spread both by the critics and the supporters. That way, the name of Krishna is spreading everywhere. And in Saksariya people, there was a grand program again. And in that program, Prabhupada spoke very beseechingly. He said, I beg you, I take the straw in my teeth. Please, all of you chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada is simply begging them, please become serious. Please chant the holy names of Hare. And then the disciples later on played videos from America, how the temples are being run, how devotees are being welcomed into the temples, how prasadam, love feasts are being distributed, how so much crowds are coming, how there is Rath Yatra happening in San Francisco, how 5,000 people are attending these Rath Yatras. Such amazing videos were presented. All the people were very much impressed by Srila Prabhupada, and more life members are joining. Wherever the devotees are going and canvassing, they are able to enlist many life members. So it's a very successful scheme. Suddenly, Prabhupada announced. Suddenly, like the Prabhupada's unlimited plans. Why? Only a person who is constantly meditating on service can come up like that. Prabhupada is constantly 24 hours meditating how I can serve Krishna. So now, for all of us, Janmashtami is coming. All of us will have temples in our respective centers. If you don't have, then you can contribute to ISKCON Chennai. Very nice programs are being planned on 25th and 26th. You can also raise donations from others by simply telling them, please engage your wealth in the service of Krishna. Our wealth is actually Krishna's wealth. Krishna has gifted it to us. At least a small part of it, we should return to Krishna. Just like a father, when the child buys an ice cream, that ice cream is bought with father's money only. But when you offer that ice cream, father becomes very happy. Like that, do offer a little bit of your wealth in the service of Krishna. And Janmashtami, Radhashtami, these are the best times to do that. We can contribute from our own savings. We can also canvas from others so that they can also engage. Like we have this Temple of the Vedic Planetarium coming up in Mayapur with donations from millions of people from all over the world. Devotees are regularly visiting every continent, every country in the world to give opportunity to people to participate in this massive project for the next 10,000 years. Because this was predicted by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No one less than that. Nityananda Prabhu predicted that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted that. What is that? An amazing Adbhut Mandir will come up in Mayapur, in the birthplace of Mahaprabhu. And it will attract devotees from all over the world. And then there will be a massive spiritual revolution happening in the whole world. Let us all hope that it happens during our lifetime. This QOVP has taken many years, more than it was originally expected to take. But then this is no ordinary project. This is a world-changing project. A completely materialistic world is going to turn to spirituality after this temple is fully inaugurated. So let us all do our bit. ISKCON offers unlimited services. And same thing happens in spiritual world. In spiritual world, what is Krishna doing? What is Krishna's main business in spiritual world? Because everyone in spiritual world loves Krishna and everyone wants to serve Krishna. So Krishna's business is to create unlimited service opportunities to all the devotees. And ISKCON is doing precisely that. Unlimited opportunities. If you want to speak for Krishna, you speak. You want to write for Krishna, you write. You want to dance for Krishna, you dance. If you want to nicely decorate for Krishna, do that. Whatever skills, whatever talents you may have or you may not have, use them all in the service of Krishna. So that way, without any shyness, without any reservations, let us do this for Krishna. Apart from contributing from our own money, let us also engage the neighborhood people to contribute in the service of Krishna. So Prabhupada is waiting for the books from Japan to arrive. You remember Prabhupada that ordered books from Dai Nippon. But these books are delayed. Why? They are lying in Calcutta port. There is strike. Calcutta in those days was daily strike. Communists, daily strike. So the books are delayed, held up there. Prabhupada has made so many life members promising, I will give you books, I will give you books. But he's not able to give books. So Prabhupada is completely depending on Krishna only. Okay, whatever happens, happens. I will continue to serve to the best of my ability. So next thing, Srila Prabhupada is invited from Bombay to go to Amritsar. So you see now, Prabhupada is conquering India for Krishna, right? He had conquered the West, he had conquered the continents. Now he has come back to the homeland of Krishna and is conquering people for Krishna now. So now from Calcutta to Bombay to A, from C to B to A. Not ABC, this is CBA. He is going Calcutta, Bombay now, going to Amritsar, traveling by train, 2 days journey from Bombay to Amritsar in those days. And Prabhupada in the past was a lone preacher, traveling alone long distances. He has even come to Karaikudi, Madurai and places like that in the deep south for his preaching activities. But now he's not alone. He has a group of devotees, 7 men and 2 women, all Western disciples. Sincere disciples, they are accompanying him. And Indians were now taking notice. Then Prabhupada was alone, there was hardly any response. But now he's accompanied by white disciples. So people are beginning to take notice. And in the meantime, Prabhupada has actually 30 devotees, correct? But they are not all going to Amritsar. Prabhupada has got work for all of them. So some devotees are there in Calcutta. Who are they? Achyutananda Swami now, Jayapataka Swami now, Hamsaduta. They are all there in Calcutta, taking care of Calcutta and development of Mayapur. Their main task is to raise funds and build a temple. Both Mayapur, Calcutta is the project for these devotees. And in Bombay, there is Tamal Krishna and Shyama Sundara. Shyama Sundara, you know, is very much the person who takes the credit for London Temple. And Tamal Krishna was in Boston and Los Angeles. He eventually became a very famous name in ISKCON. Unfortunately, he left his body in a very untimely way in an accident in Mayapur. He left straight back home, back to Godhead. There was an accident, and when they went, he was sitting in the car with a bead bag in hand, holding the beads, and there was no injury on him, but he had disappeared. I think it happened in the year 2002, something. Almost the year in which I came to the movement. There was a time that he passed away. So they were in Bombay, and they were doing life members. They were registering more and more life members and trying to raise enough money so that we can have centers in Bombay, Calcutta, Mayapur, like that. Meantime, Prabhupada reached Amritsar. So now only Prabhupada's Krishna conscious movement is just beginning to take root in India. And Prabhupada was working 24 hours, even more than in the West. Exhausting schedules. Translation at 12 o'clock in the night and 4 o'clock onwards, continuous engagement till maybe even midnight. He will never turn away anyone. Anyone comes to Prabhupada for some guidance, help, he will give all the time exclusively for that person. So barely sleeping and talking, speaking non-stop from Gita and Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita to the audience. So he was going via Kurukshetra. The train went via Kurukshetra. Prabhupada spoke about the importance of Kurukshetra, how the war happened there. And Prabhupada said, who says Mahabharata never happened? That Mahabharata is fiction. Here are all the places still existing. This Kurukshetra is the place where the battle was fought. So Prabhupada is talking to his disciples. Why do some people never accept that this is history even? They say it's all fiction. Pandavas are fiction. Kauravas are fiction. War is fiction. Prabhupada said, it's all history. So like that, Prabhupada was impressing upon his disciples that never accept misinterpretations of the scriptures, of the Itihasa. Itihasa means as it happened. Itihasa means as it happened. It's again a historic account. Same way Purana. Purana means something that happened long ago. Purana. So they're not stories. They're not mythology as they call it. No, myth. Mythology comes from the word myth. Fiction. No. Harry Potter is fiction. Harry Potter is fiction. But this is not that. No, this is not mythology. So Prabhupada, even if the program there was a Vedanta Sammelan in Amritsar, Prabhupada joined that. Again, there were many Mayavadi speakers, but audience was very happy only when Prabhupada spoke. And when Prabhupada's disciples danced and did kirtan, the audience were very happy. So quickly, for that Vedanta Sammelan, Prabhupada was made the president. Program was happening for a few hours, but Prabhupada was preaching constantly, every day visiting homes. Again, half a dozen houses every day. And does anybody know about the hospitality of Punjabis? Anyone among the audience has experienced the hospitality of Punjabis?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. They are really great. Whether you know them or not, the way they show their hospitality is really amazing. For them, even for a stranger also, they will ask them to come, then they will serve them lassi and all. Lassi is that buttermilk. Without even asking, they will serve. Saying that I'm thirsty or whatever it is, they will serve them. They are like that.
The
wonderful
langars,
people.
the langars of
Langars.
Gurdwaras, they're so famous.
Yeah, langar is really extreme.
Rotis, puris, dal, unlimitedly, they will fill up your plate.
And the devotees only prepare, Prabhuji. The devotees only prepare, and in a large scale. They do a lot of service.
So
And
these,
when you go to,
these Punjabis are big eaters, and they are also excellent. Excellent means as much as possible you should avoid. Because I've been in these houses, because I worked in Ludhiana and Jalandhar for a while. So when you visit their houses, they will start bringing huge plates filled with sweets, filled with so many eatables, and they will put it on your face. And you have to take something, and then they will put the plate down. Then 5 minutes later, again the plate will rise. It will come to your face.
Very true, Prabhuji. They are like that.
Time I was shocked what to do with these people. And after doing all this, they will say, are you ready for prasadam now? Hey, I had prasadam. No. That was only starters. Now you come. My God, everything fried in ghee and all this. They will fill your plate with so many things. They are big eaters, but how can we ordinary people handle them? So that, and in these houses, every day Prabhupada was going to 6 houses, house program. I can imagine what kind of hospitality was extended to Prabhupada and his disciples. But Prabhupada managed it, and the disciples were having a big problem because the host is forcing them to eat. But then they learned from Prabhupada how to handle the situation. And there was a royal personality called Baladevendra Singh. He was, the devotees were invited to his house also. And he asked to Srila Prabhupada. He took a conducted tour of the house. He showed so many heads of bears, tigers, lions, and he brought to them to especially one huge head of a lion. And he said, Prabhupada asked, did you hunt this lion? He said, yes. This lion was creating so much havoc in so many villages. Many people died, and I went and shot this lion. Prabhupada looked at his devotees with big eyes. See, this lion was shot by him, like that. And later on, they were all sitting around for a small conversation. Baladevendra Singh said, I have one big worry in my mind. That is, one astrologer told me that I actually participated in the Mahabharata war. But unfortunately, I fought against Krishna. And this thought is disturbing me. And what did Prabhupada reply? Any guess? He's asking Prabhupada to put his heart at rest.
Chant Hare Krishna.
Very good. Now, Prabhupada gave an answer from Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam says, anyone who fought in the war and died, they went back home, back to God. Because they all had darshan of Krishna's face as they died. Whether they are in this side or that side, by taking darshan of Krishna, they all died. And this man is saying, especially, I was on the opposite side. So Prabhupada said, no, you could not have been there in the war, because had you been there, you would not be here now. So Prabhupada said, relax. And then Prabhupada also said, in any case, now you have become a devotee of Krishna, there is nothing to worry. Then Prabhupada offered, would you become a life member? Happily, he immediately became a life member. Like the Prabhupada is making in big cities, big people into life members of ISKCON and strengthening the movement in India. Because whenever you have a program in any city, you will first go to the life members and they take it as their responsibility to make it a success. So that way, Prabhupada is laying a strong foundation by going around. And his disciples were requesting Prabhupada, Prabhupada, please slow down. This is a hectic schedule. You are hardly resting. Please take care of your health. But Prabhupada was just flying. Devotees were unable to cope up. The devotees are in the 20s. Prabhupada is in the 70s, but they are not able to cope. So this was happening. And they also visited the Golden Temple. And in the Golden Temple also, Prabhupada asked so many questions. He saw the langar there. How rotis, so many thousands of rotis are being prepared. Simultaneously, they are being roasted and they are stacked and distributed to the devotees, to the visitors. Prabhupada very much appreciated that. So when they gave the visitors book, Prabhupada wrote Prabhupada. And religion, he wrote Krishnaite. So we are all Krishnaites, not Hindu. Not that we are not Hindus, but specifically it is Krishnaite, because Hinduism is no longer what it was. Hinduism means Varnashrama Dharma. So Prabhupada wrote Krishnaite because we are devotees. We have gone beyond Varnashrama Dharma. In Kali Yuga, in any case, there is no Varnashrama. So the Sammelan was filled with dry Vedanta discussions and Mayavad. Audience were bored. But when Prabhupada did Kirtan, the audience became immediately interested. And then Prabhupada explained Tattvamasi. Some disciples were asking, everywhere we hear Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. What does it mean? Any of the devotees here, can you explain what is Tattvamasi? Have you heard this? Shankaracharya quotes it in his Sariraka Bhashyam very much. Tattvamasi. What is that? Vedic dicta. Okay. Tattvam asi means you are that. You are that. But Prabhupada explained this is not the essence of the scripture. The essence of scriptures is Omkar. But Shankaracharya did not focus on that. He only took whatever was interesting to him and he started using it in his writings. But Prabhupada says, Tattvamasi means you are that. If you want to correctly understand, you are part and parcel of the supreme absolute truth. So when you say you are the truth, you are not the supreme absolute truth, but you are part and parcel of supreme absolute truth. You cannot be God, but you can be godly. So Tattvam Asi means in quality, you are one with God. In quantity, you are never one with God. In quality, so like the Prabhupada explained. And simultaneously, he is doing so much work here. He is also keeping in touch with all his global temples, what they are doing. He's writing letters, he's asking questions, how your preaching is going on, how your deity worship is going on, how you are able to invite more devotees to the temple. Like that, asking them questions, personal problems, everything. Simultaneously, he's managing a worldwide movement. Okay. And there now we come to a part which is about Yamuna Mataji's recollection of return journey to Bombay. From Amritsar finishing, they're coming back to Bombay, but this will take some time, so I will not talk about it now. We will talk about it in the next session. So we will wind up the day at this point. Next session, we will start with Yamuna Mataji's recollection and then what happened in New Delhi. Okay. So, devotees, if you have any questions or any comments, you can please make them now. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Right.
Now the Chaitanya Mat, no, Prabhuji, are there many followers now also, Prabhuji, in Chaitanya Mat?
Actually, I have visited a few. Actually, Bagh Bazaar is a must-visit place for all of us in Calcutta. So I have visited Bagh Bazaar. Ulta Danga has now become a ISKCON temple. Basically, that was the first place where Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati started. It was a rented place, but now it belongs to ISKCON. Apart from that, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati opened 64 mutts all over India. Subsequently, they all became independent units. And then his disciples have opened more and more temples in that parampara, Gaudiya Mat parampara. So there are many, many temples, and many temples are very opulent also. But as far as their preaching activities are concerned, no, I have not kept a tab on that. Like I am in Chennai. In Chennai, there is a very nice Gaudiya Mat temple. And when particularly on the festival days, there is a good crowd. But other days, I have not seen many people going there. And what kind of preaching they do, I am not fully aware. But so, no, I would not comment on that. But I think basically the mantle of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati has come directly to Srila Prabhupada. So I don't think really there is any other mission which is doing the same amount of work. But we never know. There could be a future date when ISKCON and the Gaudiya Mats can all come together and preach. It can be a very effective thing. We can all pray for that. Because Prabhupada always wanted unity in preaching activities, cooperation and unity. But as of now, it is not. Each Gaudiya, even Gaudiya Mat is not one. Each Gaudiya Mat is in competition with other Gaudiya Mats. That is the situation. Yes, Mataji. This is what I know.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Right.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I'm
Hare
sorry.
Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, I too had been to Mangalore, Prabhuji for the inauguration of the temple.
Okay.
And I could witness the Diksha ceremony of Sunita Mataji. And
Yeah.
a small seed of desire I have planted in my heart also to get Diksha from the Guru Maharaj. Maybe
Let the
with all
seed
your
grow.
prayers and blessings, I too get it, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, let the seed grow and bear
Hare.
fruit very soon.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, there I just wanted to tell you, Prabhuji, that I went for the service and with Lord's mercy and blessings, I got Prabhuji. But one day it so happened that I could not complete my rounds. That 16 rounds I could not complete, wherein we had to go for the Mangalarti, and after that so many sevas and cleaning and all that was there, luckily. So, but I just wanted to know, Prabhuji, like they give so much of importance on the Harinam, and you should not be very inattentive while chanting. That is also an offense. So when I just wanted to know, Prabhuji, whenever I chant, I'll just sit in a place and chant, Prabhuji. So many people were walking and chanting. So should I also have done that, Prabhuji, like to complete my rounds, however, like while coming in a bus or doing some surveys also, should I have done that? Or what should I have done?
Your 16 rounds are non-negotiable. So if you can sit in one stretch and complete 16 rounds, nothing like it. So ideally, we want to wake up before anyone else wakes up. But you have to look at your own personal situation. If you can chant between 3 and 5, excellent. I have my own mentor. He's a dentist. He's now 80 plus. He's still going strong in Mumbai. He's still practicing also. Both Krishna consciousness and his dental practice. He was once a principal in a dental college. He's a very amazing, voracious preacher. He does his rounds between 3 and 5 every day. Every day. For many decades, he has been doing that. He has his family, he has his commitments, he has his health issues, but he does it. So there are some people who are able to do. But in our case, at least let us be determined that I will complete my 16 rounds every day. As far as quality, I will try to maintain the best quality. I will try to chant the most attentive rounds. But actually, it's not in our hands fully, The chanting quality is affected by what we do in the rest of the day, what kind of consciousness we have in the rest of the day. That will spill over into our chanting also. So if you want to improve your chanting, you should also improve what you are doing in the rest of the day. There's a spillover from one to the other. If you chant nice rounds, you manage your day nicely. Or if you remain Krishna conscious throughout the day, then your chanting quality will be extraordinary. So these are the things. But yes, at no cost we should compromise on our chanting. Simply because there were other sevas that we did not complete our chanting, no, that is not acceptable.
Yes.
Srila Prabhupada, when he spoke to Nandarani, we saw no, in Boston, Prabhupada said, no, you should not reduce your rounds. Who can tell you that? That service is more important than chanting. I never told you like that. Prabhupada chastised. So that way, yes. Our 16 rounds are important. After that, you can do any kind of seva, any kind of devotee association, everything fine. Reading, hearing, everything you can do. But 16 rounds is absolutely non-negotiable. Prabhupada has given it as the passport or visa to the spiritual world. So why we will compromise on that? Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji, while doing that 16 rounds itself, when we are moving here and there for the service only, can we do that, Prabhuji, like holding the Japamala?
See, it can
While
be
walking.
your extra rounds. It can be your extra rounds. Your first
Not
16
the
rounds,
16.
first 16 should be really quality. So if you have not completed the 16, but you are doing these rounds, then you should not count them.
Okay,
These
Prabhuji.
compromised rounds should not be counted as part of your 16.
Yeah,
16 should be quality rounds, even if it happens till the night, but they should be quality rounds.
yes, Prabhuji, because wearing the slippers and all that, we're not supposed to.
Everything may be necessary. See, one thing is, we can never judge why someone is doing what they are doing.
No, not judging, Prabhuji, not at all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
So it is possible that somebody has some important service, but they are forced to do these things. So that may be happening with others. But as far as we are concerned, let us try to maintain some standards. You can chant extra rounds while walking, while driving, while doing anything. Extra rounds, okay. But your 16 rounds, you should try to have very quality rounds. Right?
Yes, Prabhuji, got it.
Yeah.
Because I somewhere I thought that without doing that 16 rounds, it is better to do like at least like them. At least if I complete that 16 rounds, even if it is not of quality, also at least.
Yeah, but that should not become our routine. You see, that is
Yeah,
a thing.
yes, Prabhuji, that is.
Oh, yesterday I did like that. Today also I will do like that. Tomorrow also. That
Yes.
should not become a habit. That's
Sure.
the problem. So
Sure, Prabhuji.
we should be our own supervisors. What is happening to me? What is happening to me? Am I compromising? Am I compromising? Can I, even if there is a better way to handle it, am I not doing that? That we should be constantly aware.
Yeah, however, chanting should be prioritized first than the service also.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Pranams.
Yeah. But you handle it nicely. You don't have to enter into a quarrel with somebody and all, but you can tell, look, sir, I have been told this, that my 16 rounds are very much necessary for my spiritual life. So I will complete that and then I will join for any seva. We can very politely tell people.
Yes, Prabhuji. There was no force for the seva, Prabhuji. We were actually eagerly doing that.
So we should be very determined on this. This is one thing that pleases Krishna immensely. Krishna likes to hear his name being chanted with love by his devotees. Attitude.
Thank you so much, God. Hare Krishna. Pranams.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gurudev ki jai. So wish you all a very happy Janmashtami and Radhashtami. Put your mind in that frame of mind. Janmashtami means Krishna is taking birth in our hearts. So let us purify our heart. Let us cleanse our hearts and make it as a very worthy place for Krishna to be seated there and never to leave. Once Krishna comes in our heart, he should feel so happy that he will never leave from there. So let us prepare our mind like that. Let us chant with deep emotion from now onwards until the Janmashtami happens. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Prabhuji.
Dandavat
Hare
pranams,
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat
Dandavat
pranams.
pranams, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.